Hey everyone, welcome to Blue Heron Hill. I'm Sue. Down in the basement again, I've got some lettuce in trays that's sprouting here. I have some, Swiss chard and some kale. I have some spinach here. Having a hard time with this germination on the spinach, but it'll get there. And I think I have some leeks and celery over on the other side. But today, very exciting day, we are going to start the sweet potato process. It's not as easy as planting a seed and having the seed germinate and it grow up and you repot it and then wait for the weather to get warm enough to plant it outside. It takes a little advanced planning to get a sweet potato to grow underground for you. Those are the ones that I dug up last fall, September, I think, about then. I'll put a link to the video back there. But what you have to do with these tubers is you have to propagate slips. Now, slips or shoots will come out of this sweet potato. You can't just plant this sweet potato in the ground like you can do a regular potato, a russet or a red potato, red skin potato, something like that. You just plop the potato in the ground and the eyes will grow off of the eyes and you will get a propagation of more potatoes. Sweet potato, being the tuber that it is, will send out roots from one end. Actually, not that end. It would be this end here. This end is where the sweet potato vine came off of. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you're going to propagate these by harvesting slips from these. And then the slips will grow roots of their own, and that is what you're going to be planting in the ground to grow your sweet potatoes from. In order for us to start the process, we are going to have to put this in some sort of a medium to get this tuber to start producing roots. And then from the roots, they will send up the slips that we can then propagate with roots, with their own root system, and then plant those outside in the ground to get our sweet potato crop, which we will harvest in 120 days at least, into the fall of this coming year. So I have a few here. This happens to be the only one from last year's crop. I didn't save any. I ate them all. They were so delicious, but I did save one. Now, there are two different methods to do this propagation of slips from this tuber. Now, one method is sticking it in a jar of water, which would be like this. And then from this end, the roots will come out. And then from different parts on this sweet potato, I don't know if you can see this, but here would be one. It's a small indentation. It's called an eye, just like a potato. Here's another one right here. Perhaps there's one here. Anyway, those will start to erupt into a slip, which will be a stem with leaves on it. So you will take your potato and you're going to suspend it. You want to kind of suspend it, in the water. You don't want it to hit the bottom. That might cause bruising down here. And it's an easier way. So tried and true method would be poking in, maybe 3 toothpicks or something like that, and suspend this whole tuber into your water like this. And I like to fill it up quite high and then refill it as needed, and with fresh water. Oftentimes I dump it out and then fill it with fresh water so nothing gets too moldy or yucky looking. One thing I wanted to show you was how you determine which end is going to go down into the water and which end is going to pop up. When you plant it right into the soil, it doesn't matter. It's laying down flat, and you will get roots anywhere really on that one. But if you look at this sweet potato, it has a bit of a blunt end, and then it has a bit of a pointy end. And this is kind of fibrous if you take a look at that. And that's an indication that that's where it came off of the plant, and then it extended down this way. So this is where it's going to throw out more roots down here. And generally, this is the area where it's going to give you more slips at first. So root end down into the water, and then this end up here. But what I like to do, and I started one of these, and it really took off on me. I planted this in a soil medium. It's just a tray. It's just a, I think this was some kind of an entree tray that we got, and it's just pushed into the soil. It's watered heavily. I don't have any holes at all in it at all, so I don't have to be too concerned that it's going to rot or something like that, because this guy is going to be entirely in water. So it's not going to hurt this guy to be in a pretty soupy situation. It really absorbs a lot of the water. And as you can see right here, look at all the slips that have started to grow. This I planted about a week ago. It really took off a lot faster than I thought. This particular sweet potato is a purple variety. I got it at the store. It's an organic one. Usually the potatoes, they will put a growth inhibitor on them so they don't sprout and they will last longer in the market. But the organic ones don't have that spray on it. But there are just an insane amount of slips coming off of this one. And you can tell that they're even down here. And this looks like one that might start to be erupting through here. And these will, when they get long enough, probably at about 6 to 8 inches, I'll pull them off and stick them in their own jar of water so they develop roots. And then when they have enough roots, if it's still not time to go out into the garden, I will pot them up into their own pot. I have already started a pot right here of 3, and these are a regular orange variety. I'm not really sure. Again, they were organic. I got them at the market. And I don't really see any eruptions yet from here, but except for maybe right here. I don't know if you can see that one right there. There's a little bit of an eruption right there. So fingers crossed. I seem to have found better success with this method than with the sweet potato in the jar. Both methods are successful for me, but it seems as though this is more successful. I will usually keep this with a humidity dome that will accelerate the sprouting. It's on a heat mat right now. Doesn't really need to be, but I thought, well, why not? And it seems to be working all right. Keep the moisture level up and see how fast that they can sprout. Like this much in a week. I am really amazed at this one. these again were organic. If you cannot find any organic sweet potatoes at your market, or if you don't have any of ones left over from last year, you can try taking a regular sweet potato and washing it in a very dilute solution of hydrogen peroxide. Sometimes that helps take any of possible chemicals off of the sweet potato that might be there to inhibit its growth. So you're going to want to give that a try also. So I'm going to keep coming back with you to this process and checking in with you and showing you the next step along the way. I'll keep you informed on these back here on when I'm going to get slips from those, and when I can make these, pull these off and start rooting them in their own jar to get their own roots. So thanks for following me on this sweet potato journey. Yes, it's starting. I think sweet potatoes are just magical. And you never know what you're going to get until you start digging them out of that ground. I'll put a link to my sweet potato playlist and give that a try. There's some grins and some great successes and epic failures along the way of those, but hopefully you can learn from those. So until the next time that we can go digging in dirt, happy gardening. Bye.